North Pocono jump out to a 49-0 lead and eventually cruise to a 49-21 victory. Kind of a statistical anomaly in that game where North Pocono only had 123 yards of offense, but when you go up 49-0, there's not a lot to complain about in those spots. But we'll see if that is the same this time around. Officials are getting themselves ready here, and we're going to see captains emerge and the coin flip about to take place. Student section is raring to go here as Coach Dolan gives them a little fist pump to let him know that he's got the boys ready. It's pajama night from what I understand. Bubba Carter's next to me in a onesie from the Nittany Lion shop, so I'm not sure if anyone wants to see that. I don't, but we're going to move ahead, and you're going to hear a bit from that student section, and more importantly, you're going to hopefully hear a bit from the North Pocono Trojans. So toss was won by Honesdale, and they're going to receive as Mr. Jay Rowan, tonight's referee, has taken care of those duties with the coin flip. Teams have, and captains in particular, have shaken hands. And we're going to be ready to play some football. Up soon, you will hear the marching band from North Pocono perform the alma mater and the national anthem. So I will turn it over to them, and we'll be ready for kickoff. Okay, as always, outstanding job there by the North Pocono Marching Band playing both the alma mater and the national anthem. We about to set off just quickly. We're going to go through Coach Carter's calculus class key factors of the game. First, you want to score early. Okay, Honesdale has won 2 straight, so they have a little bit of momentum, but remember, it's a 49-21 defeat in Week 3, so as North Pocono, you want to put any hopes they have for an upset to bed early. Avoid the turnover anytime an underdog has a win in these types of games. Usually it's because of the turnover battle, so Coach Dolan was keyed in on that as they went through the week. And then probably most importantly, as you look in the playoff and it's survive and advance, you want to stay healthy if you're going to give yourself the best chance to advance. So if we are fortunate enough to win this one, you want to be healthy going into next week playing either Dallas or Pittston area. Jordan Carr will be leading the troops out for North Pocono. Jordan, senior kicker, a member of the soccer team who will play tomorrow afternoon here for their own district championship. North Pocono has been on a roll of their fall sports. We have a cross-country team, boys cross-country team, in Hershey right now preparing for states, as we also have a couple of girls down there preparing for the state championship race. And Jordan Carr will play double duty this weekend. Right now at the football team, trying to get them to advance, and then tomorrow as a keeper on the soccer team. Coach Davis has taught me well, we don't say goalie, we say keeper. So he's ready to put toe to leather, and we're ready to kick off District 2 4A quarterfinals. And away we go, and he booms that one through the end zone, where Honesdale will start at the 20-yard line. I'll get you lineups as we go here. Honesdale led by a freshman quarterback, Aiden Collins. Aiden's a 6'2", 180-pounder. If the last name sounds familiar, he is the nephew of high school principal Ron Collins. So we'll see how well Aiden performs in front of some family here tonight. And Honesdale comes out from the sideline under Coach Paul Russick. Again at 4-6, but they've won 2 straight. And it looks like Collins is at quarterback. Big number 46 is the fullback, Aaron Phillips, and Connor Schmidt, number 3, in at tailback. So Honesdale comes out in a tight bunch formation to the right, and it's a little bootleg. And Collins wants to go up top. He has a man there, and it's number 10, and it's in and out of his hands. He had Cage Sutherland. Good job on the throw. He got his head turned around nicely. He had single coverage, it looked like, on the outside, no safety help. And Sutherland had his man beat, just could not bring it in. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 as North Pocono dodges a bullet right there. Sutherland is Collins' favorite target. On the year, Cage has 36 catches for 518 yards and 5 touchdowns already, so we'll probably see some more of that. Honesdale comes out again in that tight bunch. This is something we've seen in the last few weeks against North Pocono. Schmidt in the backfield, Collins under center. Fake the toss and a bit of an inside handoff, and decent gain up inside. It's Max Mickle, who's going to work his way near first down yardage. Looked like North Pocono had him pinned in near the 25, but Mickle was able to spin out of a tackler too and use some leg drive to pick up an extra yard and get him enough for a first down. So we're going to place it right at the 30. And Honesdale will be looking at 1st and 10. Just a little inside handoff there. Sometimes the eye candy you get with the toss action going one way draws the linebackers just enough to create a crease, and that's what happened. Same look in the backfield with Schmidt, number 46, Phillips. Under center is Collins. Again, a little play action. Under pressure is Collins, and it's going to fall incomplete as Alex Brinkman all over him. We've seen a ton from Alex as far as putting pressure on the quarterback the last couple weeks, and he was in hot pursuit that time, was not fooled by the play action, chasing Collins on the roll, and Aiden gets it out of there, and it falls incomplete. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 once again as Honesdale comes out of the huddle. It's Isaac Carmody now to the near side, and Sutherland out to the left. Tight end left. Collins under center again. Same backfield with Schmidt dotting the I. Sutherland in action. And now they're going to go with Schmidt, who picks up 1 or 2 before that hole closes rather quickly. Corey Isley gets his head in there along with Zach Hoover. So we'll give 2, close to 3, and it's going to bring up a big 3rd down now for Honesdale on their opening drive. 10:54 to go, nothing, opening drive. Collins in the huddle. We'll try to get the starters here. We get a little lull in the action. And we see Tyler Winters lined up on that wing now. And 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Schmidt the lone back. And it's a little draw play to Schmidt, a little bit of room, but he runs into his own man and slows him up before he is cleaned up. It looks like that's Brinkman again, Alex Brinkman there to make the stop. So that will give him maybe a yard, and it's going to bring up a 4th and 7, and looks like Honesdale is going to punt it away. Back in punt formation is C.J. Hinton for Honesdale. And Riley Moore back deep for the Trojans. Hinton's going to let it go at about the 20. It's a decent kick. A little bit of a wobbler, running up to catch it and saving some yards is Riley Moore. Great play there by Riley. That's something you won't see in the stat sheet, but that ball bounces. It can go another 10, 15 yards downfield. So great job by Riley. I'm sure special teams coach Ryan McAndrew works on that on a regular basis. And it pays off that time as North Pocono will start right at midfield under the direction of William Soma. Soma, senior quarterback. He's 56 out of 98 for the year, 828 yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, both of which came last week. A little bit of a double wing here for North Pocono as Soma's under center, and it's a handoff straight ahead to Blaine. He's got a little bit of room, and he's going to pick up about 4 on the first down carry before he's dragged down by Phillips at the bottom of the pile there. To get you that North Pocono offense, we mentioned Soma. Blaine and Isley are the running backs. You'll see Danny Smith, Ashton Smith, along with Riley Moore and Noah West as receivers. Ty LaFave at the tight end. Across the front, it's left tackle Brendan Carney, Zach Hoover at guard, Don Bottinger at the center, Damian Altman at the right guard, and Zach Gillard as the left tackle. Toss this time, and he's met in the hole by number 4. That's C.J. Hinton coming up and lowering the boom on Michael Blaine, maybe a yard. We'll give him 1. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 now for North Pocono, and we'll see how Coach Stoll wants to handle this one if he decides to let Mr. Soma throw it here. North Pocono breaks the huddle. We're going to see Ashton Smith and Michael Blaine out to the right, and that's number 4. Danny Smith here to the left. One back is Isley. Quick little pop pass, and it's Ty LaFave, and he absolutely blasts Max Mickle, who eventually you'll get credit for the tackle, but he stood in there and took a forearm shiver from Ty after the catch, and it was good enough for a first down and takes the ball all the way down to the 31-yard line. Just a quick little stop. Ty found some room in the zone, just sat there, and Will Soma put it on him. Soma now under center. 2 backs in the backfield. Play action to Blaine. A little bit of pressure. Soma has a man. Oh, and it's through the outstretched arms of Ashton Smith. Smith had to step to the inside. Once again, play action drew that safety up, it looked like a step or two, and gave Ashton Smith an opportunity to sneak behind that safety and in front of the corner. Ball just a little bit behind him, and could not make the connection, but it's going to be 2nd down and 10 now as North Pocono continues this drive. We'll get you the Honesdale defense in a second for our good friends up there in Wayne Highlands. 1 back, motion now with Blaine. Isley, the lone back, and it's going to be a trap inside to Isley, and he's tripped up just as he's about to get going by Connor Schmidt, the inside linebacker. Up front for Honesdale, it's Kelleher, Phillips, Hanson, Gambita, Hinton, a linebacker, Schmidt, as we just mentioned, who made the tackle at one linebacker, Mickle, who was involved in the tackle earlier on LaFave at a safety position, Johnny Kaufman, the other safety, Cameron Hedgeland at one corner, and Cage Southerton at the other corner. Number 1, Tyler Winters, also sees action at one of those backer positions. It's going to be a little counter play, and Blaine has room and just about tripped up, but it looks like it's going to be real close to a first down. Winters makes the stop, and it is going to be enough. They're going to place that down at the 22-yard line. It's going to be a first down with 7:34 to go in the first quarter here. So both teams able to move the ball a little bit early. Honesdale, after an initial first down, had to punt it away. North Pocono on their first drive here. Quick little 3-step drop, and a little too much there with Soma looking for Danny Smith in the corner of the end zone there, and it falls just short, or just long of Smith. 24, it's Cameron Hedgeland who was in coverage, stride for stride with Smith. So it's going to bring up another 2nd and 10 here as the clock stops with that incompletion. A little bit of an unbalanced line here for North Pocono. Tight end Ty LaFave ending this left side, and 2 receivers that way. And they're going to go to Blaine, and he slips up inside before Max Mickle makes the tackle. picked up about 6, close to 7. And it's going to put about a 3rd and long 3, we'll call it. Probably 4-down territory here. Remember, with North Pocono, they always have the weapon of Jordan Carr's leg. So we're going to get a trips to the right with Ty Lefebvre, the tight end that way. We're in the gun with Soma now. Isley to his left, and it's a straight keeper. And Soma makes one man miss before he's dragged down behind by, it looks like, number 51 there. Dallas can beat him and make the tackle. Real close to another first down. We'll see where that one's spotted. And they're going to put that just outside, it looks like, the 12. And that's going to be enough for a first down and move the chains once more. So another first down for North Pocono as they are driving here. And we have 2 tight set with Alex Brinkman coming in as the other tight end now, 2 backs. So 22 personnel, and it's Blaine again. And he's tackled by Max Mickle again. So we'll give him another 4, it looks like, maybe 5. We'll give him 5. And it's going to bring up a 2nd and 5. So time-consuming drive here as we're inside of 6 minutes on the clock. Pretty clean game so far. Soma breaks the huddle, and again, we're going to keep the 2 tight end look with Brinkman and Ty Lefebvre. 1 receiver is Noah West, 2 backs with Isley and Blaine. West in motion, and it's a little play action. Soma looking, he's in trouble now, and he is going to take off and keep his feet, but he is dragged down there by Mickle. So maybe a yard on that one. Went play action, rolled to the short side of the field. The problem with rolling short side, receivers run out of room to work, especially the closer you get to the end zone, and not a lot for Soma to do. He pulled it down, tried to get what he could, and as mentioned, maybe a yard. So it's going to be a 3rd and short 4, long 3 right now. And we're going to see the same look from the Trojans with the 2 tights, West as the receiver, Blaine top of the eye, and it's going to be Blaine. He cuts up inside, and not much as he's being dragged back. Maybe a yard. Maybe a yard on that one. That's number 4, C.J. Hinton, again on the tackle. And it's going to bring up a big 4th down right now. And Liam Burke enters the game. So we're going to see Coach Dolan here trying to impose the offensive will on Honesdale with a little larger lineup. So West comes out. The big man Liam Burke comes in. Probably going to see that power eye out of North Pocono that we've seen time and time again. Honesdale matches with the 6-man front. 2 tight ends, Brinkman and Lefebvre. You have the power eye with Liam Burke now as the power back as they shift now to the left. It looks like a lot of confusion, and that'll be the first timeout taken by North Pocono. So big play here. One of the things we talked about in the pregame with Coach Carter's calculus class key factors of the game was that you want to score early and often. Remember, Honesdale's coming into this game, yes, only 4-6, and a lot of people have questions whether teams under 500 should be in district play or just state play in general, because technically this gets you in the state play. You want to take that momentum away, but Honesdale's hanging around and doing what they need to do, and it's putting this first drive a little bit additional pressure on the Trojans right now, and we'll see what Coach Dolan comes up with here with this first down. Other games we got to keep an eye on. We have Valley View and Crestwood and Berwick and Paupack in the other side of the bracket. The side of the bracket we have to worry about is Dallas and Pittston. If Dallas were to win tonight as the 2 seed, the higher seeded team, and they are leading 7-0 already, North Pocono would have to travel to Dallas with a win, so something to look at. All right, we break from the sideline, and we see that the personnel grouping has changed. We go to a 3-receiver set. Corey Isley, the lone back. Honesdale matching up in man coverage now. They bump across, and they're going to roll Soma. He's got a man in the end zone. He's going to look front. Mickle is on him, and it's a fumble, and it looks like Honesdale has recovered. It would have been 4th down. He wasn't going to get it anyway. Max Mickle really makes the play. I did not see who recovered the fumble, But as Suma started to roll right, no one seemed to be open early. He was trying to create a little bit after that and just ran out of time as Max Mickle looked like he was shot out of a cannon there, coming quickly after Soma, and someone just tried making a little something out of it and didn't work. So Honesdale's going to take over a little bit of momentum now. 3:56 to go in the quarter, and we see that tight bunch look once again with Connor Schmidt as the lone back and Southerton the receiver to that side. We see play action again. We saw this very first play of the game, and he throws it up, and it's intercepted by number 4, Danny Smith. Probably going to the well one too many times was the young quarterback, Aiden Collins, right there. Squared his shoulders and just threw it up for grabs. I think North Pocono was waiting for that one. Very same look that we saw on the first play of the game that he had Southerton open by a couple of steps. That time did not. Smith was with him step for step. Danny Smith probably has Cage Southerton by, I don't know, Cage is about 5'9", Danny might be about 6'1", so he had him by a couple inches, was just able to go up and high point the ball, and we get the turnover, and the ball now is on the 49. So again, good starting field position here, and North Pocono is going to come out in a pro left set, kind of basic traditional set, and they're going to run toss this way with Blaine, and he's not going to get the corner, as that's number 10, Cage Southerton, who just battled for that interception. Comes up and tackles Blaine. We'll say no gain, so it'll be 2nd and 10. So the Honesdale defense, as we mentioned, the first time they played, they only gave up 123 yards to North Pocono. A lot of that, however, was scores on interceptions and fumble returns. So North Pocono really didn't need much of their offense. Their starters were out early, so that's a little misleading. But at the same time, their defense must still play pretty tough, and we're seeing it here. Someone wants to go deep. He's across the middle. He's got a man incomplete that he was looking for. That's Danny Smith right there. Running with him stride for stride was number 24, Cameron Hegdelon. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down now. And Noah West is going to enter the game. Michael Blaine will come out. Seemed like North Pocono got the ground game going a little, established it a bit, but not in chunks. Really, it was 3-4 yards here. It's just a matter of staying patient when you're doing that. But if you miss on 1st or 2nd down when you go play action, you put yourself behind the chains a little here, and that's what's happened. So we're going to see LaFave the tight end to the right with 2 receivers that way. Danny Smith down here to the near side. In the gun, we see a quick pop to Danny Smith, and he's got it before he's dragged down. Same matchup as last time. And Danny Smith wins this one. Eventually is dragged down by Hedgelon, but not before he picks up about 13 and a 1st down. So that's going to move the ball roughly to the 46, so more than the 13 I originally gave him. That's going to pick up about 15 or 16 there. Similar look, I should say. Twins to the right, tight end left, 2 backs, and it's going to be a give to Blaine. He sees a little bit of room and cuts back up inside and picks his way for about 6. Schmidt scraping down the line as the linebacker was able to gobble him up, but not before, actually looks like 7, not before Blaine's able to pick up a good chunk of yardage and make it a 2nd and 3. We're encroaching upon 2 minutes to go in the first quarter here. Still no score. We see once again doubles to the right, 2 backs. LaFave tight end here, tight to the left. It's a give now this way to Blaine, and he pops through for another 1st down before number 3, Connor Schmidt, brings him down once more. So Coach Dolan's going to remain patient here and just try and stay up inside and use the little bit of a size advantage I would think we have over some of those kids in the Honesdale front. They're doing a good job. But if you're getting 4 or 5 yards a clip, it's just a matter, again, of staying patient on the ground here and avoiding turnovers. Pro set now to the left with Ashton Smith and tight end Tyler Fave left. We're going play action. In the pass is... and it's incomplete. Right in the passing lane was number 1, Tyler Winters. A heck of an effort. Looked like it was maybe Corey Isley in the flat that Some was looking for, and and Winters batted in the air and almost came down with a diving interception. Would have been our second turnover in just as many series here, but that falls incomplete. It's going to bring a 2nd and 10 now as Soma trots back in. 1:28 to go. Again, nothing here. District 2 4A quarters. Winner will get the winner of Dallas and Pittston. Tight end left, 2 receivers to the right, Isley and Blaine at the top of the key. It's counterplay to Blaine, and there's somebody there. Blaine does a nice job trying to get around him, is not able to, however. Can't shake Max Mickle and number 24, Hedgelon. I'm not keeping defensive statistics here, but I would guess Mickle has at least 5 or 6 tackles, and we're 11 minutes into this game, so he's somebody I'm sure at halftime that the North Pocono staff is going to have to figure out where he's lined up and how we can get a man on him. He's playing a strong safety position, but I think you're seeing some man coverage out of Honesdale, and he's sliding up. Right now they give a cover 2 look as they walk out their linebacker Tyler Winters. Trips now to the right, 3rd and 11. Bring a little bit of pressure and not much room. Soma breaks away. He's being chased by Hinton. Now he's stepping back behind the line of scrimmage and finds a man for a touchdown. It looks like number 4, Danny Smith, and the Honesdale staff's not happy because it looked like he crossed the line of scrimmage and then stepped back to throw the pass, and they're letting the official know it, but it's good for 6. So we'll count that as a 26-yard. We'll count that as a 26-yard touchdown and bring in Jordan Carr with 35 seconds to go to try and make this 7-0. So it was Soma to Smith, 26 yards. And now Jordan Carr's snap is good by Brinkman. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 35 seconds left to go, it's 7-0. North Pocono takes advantage of the Danny Smith interception. He comes in on the other end of that with a touchdown catch all alone on the sideline there. And 7-0 Trojans. Yeah, I thought that was close. I was up here. I was waiting to see a flag. It looked like he crossed the line and ran back and let it go. And like I said, Honesdale's coaching staff not too thrilled about that. But nonetheless, it's a touchdown and a 7-0 lead for the Trojans. So 35 seconds to go, 7-0. And now see if the defense can put the clamps on it and try and get that back. Remember, North Pocono will get the second half kick. So want to try and do all you can to add some points here. Looks like number 10, that's Southerton, who has been active offensively and defensively, and number 20, Kanye Dixon, back deep for Honesdale, awaiting the kick from Jordan Carr as he places the ball down at the 40 here. Bit of a brisk night. They call this football weather, however, so we'll take it. Looks like Carr is ready to go now. And he approaches the ball and gets into this one as well, and that one's going to go into the end zone. So as I say on a weekly basis, one of the better weapons to have, somebody who can put the ball in the end zone and not give the other team the opportunity to return it, make them go 80 yards each time, and we'll take it. Just quickly, some scores around the area. Del Val up 7-0 on Scranton in the 6A regional. In the sub-regional in 5A, East Stroudsburg South leads Wyoming Valley West, the only District 2 team to qualify. Valley View already up 14-0 on Crestwood. As mentioned, Dallas 7-0, and Berwick's up 10-0 already on Wallenpaupack. And a bit of an early surprise, Carbondale area 3, Wyoming area nothing. So there's a surprise in AAA as we start early. All right, we see shotgun look, more of a pistol look, and they give to Connor Schmidt, who drags some people with him for about 5. So Collins, straight ahead give to Schmidt. Schmidt turns the legs a little bit, picks up 5 before he is brought down there. Looks like Carney was in the middle of the action. So a 2nd and 5 now as the clock runs down, and with the play clock at 21 and the game clock at 8, looks like Honesdale will be happy to discuss things for this 2nd and 5 situation. Coach POTUS working that play clock once again like a fine musician, a virtuoso. Just to catch you up in a couple of other scores as we work our way through. As mentioned, Carbondale, the 3-0 surprise. Western Wayne and Mid-Valley without a score trail up 7-0 in AA. Susquehanna Dunmore without a score in AA. Single A, Old Forge, who's one of the favored teams to win the eastern half of the state, is off tonight with a bye, a first-round bye. Holy Cross opted out of the playoffs, and Scranton Prep also with a bye of sorts, as Nanacoke, Honesdale, and Holy Redeemer all opted out as opposed to playing that game. So they get another week for some rest and prepare themselves for their opponent next week, which will be either Mid-Valley or Western Wayne. As we mentioned, that's scoreless in the first quarter. Here, however, 7-0 North Pocono behind the throwing arm of William Soma as he connected with Danny Smith for a 26-yard scoring strike. And we're going to start here with 2nd and 5, basically, as Collins is in the gun. In motion, Southern. And it's a little handoff inside to Schmidt, and he has a little bit of room to the outside, and he stiff arms a man before Danny Smith drags him out of bounds. Smith runs pretty nicely. He's sort of cruising there. It doesn't look like he's moving, but he is picking up yards as he goes. So they're going to go a little bit of tempo now as they're going to stay in this look with twins to the right, wing left, and receiver here to left. Collins in the pistol with Schmidt as his lone back. Good snap, and it's Schmidt again. This time Brinkman's in the backfield with him, holding on for dear life before the help comes, and Hoover is there to clean it up. So Brinkman does a good job shedding his block and holding on to Schmidt before before Hoover comes in and cleans it up. No gain on that one, so it's going to bring up a second down now. Yeah, we'll give him one. We'll call it 2nd and 9. And Honesdale continues this drive as we come upon 11 minutes now before halftime. Trips now to the left with that wing. One receiver down here to left, one back is Schmidt. Collins in the pistol. Gets the shotgun step. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to dump it off, and no, he's not. He is dragged down before he has a chance to do anything. That's big number 75, Jake Keating. 5'10", 225-pound junior. Pocket, he had some time early, stepped up. Good job by the secondary there, continuing to cover downfield. Collins had nowhere to go with the football, and eventually Jake Keating gets home with the sack. And now it's going to bring up a 3rd and 13. And these are situations Honesdale does not want to be in. They want to throw the ball on their terms using play action, not in forced situations as we see here. So it's going to be trips this way, one receiver to the right. Collins fading, looking to set up a screen, and Tyler Fave had that baby read right from the start. And it's completed, and probably for a loss of yards there, as Schmidt hangs on to that one, and Tyler Fave was all over it as mentioned. So good enough for one good run there. Two good runs, really, when you think about the run before the end of the quarter, and not much after that as they went backwards in that after that first down. So we're looking at C.J. Hinton back deep to punt. And that baby is fair catch by Riley Moore. And North Pocono again in good field position, going to start their 38. They've started drives at midfield at their own 49 and now at their 38. So North Pocono in business again as far as field position goes, and Soma's going to lead the offense out for their 3rd possession of the night. Seen Honesdale really putting up a fight so far. They've been pesky defensively. They've been in spots. They've made tackles when they had to. Very few people have escaped. One bit of a breakdown on the long touchdown pass there. And, again, you know, that one's kind of questionable as Will Soma sort of ran towards the line, perhaps past it, and end result was a touchdown. Soma looking to set up a screen now. He's being pressured. He's going to keep it. And he makes one man miss. Oh, he spun around. And spun around, went right into Max Mickle. And met rudely by Max. But not before he picks up about 9. Looked like they're trying to set up a screen themselves. And
they don't even measure. They just say.
Now they're going to give him a first down. They're going to say that's 10 yards and a first down. Soma was spun, and when he picked up an extra 5 or 6 at that point before Mickle was there to finish him off. But again, North Pocono moving in the right direction here as it's at its own 48-yard line. So we have twins to the right. We have Ashton Smith in motion. Soma under center with Blaine at the top of the eye, and they try to go ahead with Isley. And he's swallowed up by number 50, Jack Kelleher. He'll pick up maybe 3 on the carry, so we'll call it a 2nd and 7. As referee Jay Rowan blows that one back in the play. 9 minutes to go here, 7-0 Trojans. Soma under center again. Tight end LaFave this way along with Ashton Smith. Danny Smith to the left. 2 backs with Isley and Blaine. 3-step drop, and that may have been tipped again. Looks like big number 80, Rocco Fluck, has gotten his hands on that one. And that one was deflected away. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 7 now. Noah West will enter the lineup as Michael Blaine checks out. And here comes Soma with the play from Coach Dolan. 8:46 to go. We're going to see trips now to the left with tight end Ty LaFave. Danny Smith down here right by himself. Soma in the backfield with Corey Isley. Bringing a little bit of pressure. Quick throw and catch. We'll see what the spot gives you here. And it looks like he's going to be about a yard shy of the yardage needed to gain. At least he was a yard shy when the original man spotted it. Now it's much closer. So it's going to still be short. It's going to be a 4th and inches here. And again, we go to this power set with 2 tights and 3 backs as the power back Liam Burke enters the lineup. And North Pocono hurries to the line. 3 backs, and somebody just moved. And that's going to be on North Pocono, I'm afraid. Just a little bit of a flinch there, and that's all you need. That's the one problem you have when you try to go quick in a spot like that. If not everybody's on the same page, it becomes a bit problematic. And we see Jordan Carr making his way out onto the field as the punter. So looks like Coach Jones decided to kick this one away from his own, from the Honesdale 48-yard line. Sutherland is back deep. And we'll see how Jordan does getting this one away. Good snap by Brinkman. And pretty good punt. It's going to drive Sutherland back to about the 19 where he'll take that one. And he is going to fair catch it there as Alex Brinkman was right there waiting for him if he thought otherwise. And that's where Honesdale will start their 4th possession of the game with 7:52 to go in the half. So couple of first downs there with good field position, and Honesdale's defense stiffens once again, and they're staying in this contest. And in the discussion I had with Coach Dolan before the game, this is the stuff that worries you. You're 1 play away now from a tie game with a missed assignment or missed tackle. So you want to put them away early, and we've not been able to do it thus far. Motion here is Sutherland. And it's going to be Schmidt again this side, and waiting for him in the backfield looked like Brendan Carney. Maybe Schmidt had a yard. So that backside pursuit coming down the line of scrimmage pretty hard, and Schmidt did not have much room once he got started there. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 9 now as Schmidt picks up 1. We see Keating up front with Carney, Ambrosecchia, and Brinkman across the front for the Trojans. Motion here by Sutherland once again. 2 backs in the backfield. They're going to run a little trap up inside to Phillips, and Zach Hoover is there. Filled the hole nicely. Keating there once again. Carney there. So not a lot of room. They tried to hit a quick one up inside, and if you're Honesdale here, you got to decide if you really want to put it in the hands of the freshman with 6:53 to go, or just call something safe and punt it out of there and hope you can play defense to get you to the half. So we'll see what Coach Russick decides to do. He's done a nice job balancing the attack so far with mixed reviews as far as first downs up to this point. They can use one right here if you're Honesdale. And we have a stoppage in play by referee Jay Rowan. And it looks like Honesdale has called their first timeout of the half. So both teams have taken a timeout. And we'll see what Coach Russick decides to do. Special thank you to the baseball coach up at Honesdale, Coach Ernie Griffiths, who was able to hook us up with some information from the Honesdale football team earlier today, so we appreciate that, so we can be as accurate as possible on the airwaves tonight. Always a pleasure to speak with Ernie. Looks like Honesdale, not a lot of kids on their roster. They're one of the smaller 4A schools. Remember, in a lot of other sports, North Pocono is actually 5A and Honesdale is a 4A school. So even though we're in the same classification, there might be a disparity. There might be a disparity in overall enrollment. All right, Honesdale is going to take the field right from the sideline. And they come out in a formation with 2 men right, a wing left, and a receiver left. Now motion, Sutherland's going to make it trips this way with Schmidt. And they are going to hand it off to Schmidt, who's going to turn upfield and is going to be awful close. No, he's going to be about 2 yards shy. It looks like he was trying to extend it there a little bit, but he's going to come up shy with a little misdirection. And it looks like they're running tempo here where they might try and go for it and try to sneak one here. So this is a big call for Coach Russick early on in the game here. And I think he's thinking better of it right now as North Pocono was settling their defense ready to go. So ball's at the 23-yard line, 23 and a half perhaps. They have to get out near the 24. So that's a long yard and a half that Honesdale has to gain. And Coach Russick was looking at going for it there. And I get it. You know, you're a 4-6 team coming down here looking to pull an upset, and you want to try everything you can, but at the same time, you don't want to be Lane Kiffin this week after what he did down at Auburn last week, where he went for every fourth down under the sun and turned away about 15 points he could have had with field goals. So smart thing probably to punt here, and we'll see exactly what he decides to do.
All right, time to close up shop. I'm staying warm.
All right, so it looks like the referee's calling us back in, and we're ready to go. We'll see if Coach Russick has changed his mind. I think that was Tyler Winters, number 1, who actually punted last time. I think we gave credit to C.J. Hinton, but it was Winters. And, yeah, Winters is back deep to kick, and that's Riley Moore, who's done a nice job fair catching a few punts tonight already. Just got to see if it's actually punted away. Maybe they try to draw some offside. No, good snap. And Winters gets a pretty good kick away. Moore, again, fair catches it, and he'll take it at about the 45-yard line. So for the 4th time tonight, North Pocono is in great field position. Mr. Carter next to me is a math teacher. Let's see. Midfield, 49, 45, and 38. What's the average there, Mr. Carter?
I'm cold.
He's cold. Okay. Not the best in the business for nothing, folks. So we'll call it about the 45-yard line.
You're serving him? He's cramping over here. He's cramping up.
I'm cramping up somehow. My quinine water's coming to me, thanks to my good friend Kim. Play action pass now. Soma looking to go up top, and he is met as he lets it go, and we have a flag downfield. I'd imagine that there's laundry all over the field, so probably holding or pass interference in from a couple different officials at least. That'd be my guess, so we'll see what Mr. Rowan has to offer. Soma was met rather rudely when he let that one go. So, yeah, that will be holding. That is your Moscow Family Eye Care Improving Vision Call of the Week right there, as it will give North Pocono a first down. Not a spot foul like you see in the NFL with this, but it's holding. It'll get you 10 yards in the first down, and it'll put the ball into Honesdale territory here. So with 5:56 to go, we're just inside that 6-minute mark, and North Pocono once again in Honesdale territory. Soma brings the play in from Coach Dolan. And as North Pocono breaks the huddle, we're going to see 3 receivers to the left, a tight wing over there with Blaine as the lone back, 1 receiver this way. And it's going to be Blaine straight ahead with some room. And he's tackled again by Mickle, it looks like, at the bottom of the pile there, but not before he's able to pick up about 6. So a good initial push up front creates a little bit of a hole. And it'll bring up a second down now, just outside the 38-yard line as the drive continues. North Pocono has a good mix of senior leadership and some youngsters, and you're seeing a little bit of both involved here up front and in the skill positions. And Soma hands off to one of those younger fellas, and that's Blaine. He's just about to get rolling, and once again it's Max Mickle. So that's another first down for North Pocono off that. It looked like Blaine was just about to break the outside before Mickle grabbed him. One of the better defensive performances I've seen so far this year. Probably one of the better defensive performances from a Honesdale player since Mike Motzko in the early 2000s. Pro right. Play fake to Blaine. Some pressure now for Soma. He gets it. He does not get away from everybody, however. He's still fighting for yards. And he's dragged down there by number 46, Phillips, and number 50, Jack Kelleher. So he's going to lose a few there. Soma's tough to bring down. He's in the grasp there and wrapped up, and he's still fighting for yards. Some good, some bad with that, especially as a quarterback. You don't want to take extra shots in those spots, especially knowing we're in playoff mode here, but you can't take the competitiveness out of the kid, so it's something he'll learn as he moves along. We're going to see offset eye here with Isley at the fullback, Blaine at the tailback, 2 receivers, 1 to the right with the tailback, and we see Blaine with a little bit of room to the outside and closed quickly out there by Southerton. He did a good job closing. He's a little banged up right now. May have banged knees with somebody, but he's up and hobbling around. He's okay. Really impressed with the speed on the back end of Honesdale's defense. They're closing some of these holes quickly. It looked like Blaine had some room to the outside once he got going, and it closed, and they're sure tacklers as well. So Honesdale probably much improved from that Week 3 matchup, and we're not only seeing it on the scoreboard, but definitely in the physicality out on the field. 3rd and 10 now as we get trips here to the right, and Soma in the backfield with Isley, in the backfield with Soma. As Soma rolls right, he's running out of room, and again, the ball is loose, and it looks like big pile up in front of the North Pocono bench, and perhaps Zach Hoover is there for North Pocono to scoop that fumble up. But Honesdale is able to get a lot of pressure tonight, which is something we really haven't seen much. I think last week aside, you really can't go by anything that happened last week with those conditions. Both teams knew no one could throw the ball, so defensively you just had a different mindset. But Honesdale doing a good job to prevent North Pocono from moving the ball as they'd like. Good snap by Brinkman as we have Carr back to punt. A low-line drive, and Southern's going to let that bounce, and it's going to go into the end zone. So with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the half, 7-0 North Pocono lead, and Honesdale will be taking over at their 20. So again, every drive for Honesdale, Mr. Carter could do this average without a problem. It started at the 20, so that's 5 drives at the 20, Mr. Carter. That is the 20-yard line average there. North Pocono, much different story, as they've been starting near their own 45 for most of the game. So Jordan Carr doing a good job keeping Honesdale at bay, not giving them much of an opportunity as far as field position goes. Just a matter of the offense getting a roll. So we're going to see trips now to the right. Schmidt, the lone back, with a wing back there, and they're going to run a little counter at Schmidt, and he pops through a hole, and he's still driving as he gets out near the 30, but it looks like his knee was down at about the 27, so we'll give him the 28. So an 8-yard run. Honesdale's had some success with that counter play, with the guard and tackle pulling. In that instance, is actually the tight wing who pulled. A little bit of tempo now as Collins gets the snap, and he gives again to Schmidt, and there is Jake Keating once again. And it's going to be a 2-yard loss on that one, as Keating has been living in the the Honesdale backfield here. And Coach Dolan takes his second timeout, try and set up the offense here with some time if they can force Honesdale to punt it away. So big play call here for Coach Russick. And probably a good move, Coach Dolan. It only leaves them one timeout. That's the one issue. So a first down will probably get Honesdale into the half down 7-0 if they decide to sit on the ball at that point. And I'm sure, as I mentioned, the staff over at Honesdale would be happy with a 7-0 halftime score as opposed to the 49-0 score in the game up at Honesdale week 3. Just to roll through some scores as we have a little break. Delaware Valley 14, Scranton nothing in 6A. No score yet with 6:15 to go in the second quarter between Wilkes-Barre and Hazleton. Other games in 4A, Valley View's extended their lead. That's 21-0 now in the second quarter. Dallas also extended their lead to 14-0 in the second quarter. Berwick still leads Paupack 10-0 in the second quarter. So right now all the favorites are leading, which would, if it held true, put North Pocono at Dallas next weekend, and Berwick would be traveling to Valley View next weekend. Wyoming area is taking the lead at the end of the first quarter in 3A, 6-3 over a tough Carbondale area bunch, and Western Wayne out to a 14-0 lead over Mid-Valley. Western Wayne has been struggling as of late. A lot of injuries have decimated their lineup, so maybe some of those kids are back and Coach Wolf has them up and running. All right, 3rd and 3, 2 backs. 2 receivers to the left, and they're going to give to Schmidt, and he's going to have the first down, which is a big first down. He is dragged down from behind by number 2, Michael Blaine, but not before he gets the first down. So we'll see how Coach Russick wants to handle this now, as it looks like number 2, Cole Fries, is entering the game as a receiver. And we're going to see 2 receivers to the right, wing and receiver left. Schmidt in the backfield with Collins. Sutherland goes in motion, makes it trips left with the receiver this way, and they come back with that counter play again, and a good job of weaving in and out by Connor Schmidt before Isley is able to bring him down, but that's about 8 more, and with 1:21 to go, Honesdale could probably pick up the urgency a little bit here. They actually have their tackle out wide with this look. So wing, a little odd look we have here. And they're setting up the little go play, and he just tosses one up, and no flag thrown as Ty LaFave drops back into coverage there. So a little bit of a trick play. We used to call it the goat play, where you have the tackle out wide right, faked what looked like a screen this way, and tried to slip somebody down the middle of field, and did not work. So 1:03. 3rd and 2 here, so another big play for Honesdale, where if they're going to escape the half down 7-0, probably want to convert here. You see we have trips again to left, that wing being the inside man, Connor Schmidt as the sidecar to Collins. And they're going to go with that same look to Schmidt inside, and he puts his foot in the ground, and he's going to get the first down. So Corey Isley again on the stop with Jake Keating, but it's going to give you the first down and probably allow Honesdale to, again, escape the half, only down 7-0 with some momentum here. And it looks like they're going to speed it up a little bit, 48 seconds to go. 2 receivers both sides. Schmidt as the lone back in the pistol here. And he's in a little bit of trouble. Collins is going to roll. We have flags down. He's under pressure, and a long throw that falls incomplete. Where that flag is thrown could be holding. And if you're Coach Russick now, if that is holding, you're probably thinking of running the ball once or twice here and going into the half and preparing yourself for the second half of a close game, which I'm not sure how many people expected this, especially after the first matchup between the two teams. But physically, it's not like it's turnovers and miscues on North Pocono's part. Physically, Honesdale is step for step with North Pocono. So that's a spot foul, so that's going to move the ball all the way back near the 30. They have it placed at the 31. So with 33 seconds to go, it's now first and a short Uber ride away from a first down, and we're in the pistol again with the trips to the right inside wing. Schmidt, the lone back, and they're going to run a little bit of a draw and almost mishandle the ball, and Schmidt's just going to get down inbounds. No, they're going to stop him before he got out of bounds. That was Michael Blaine and Danny Smith and Corey Isley converging on the tackle. So that'll stop the clock with 25 seconds. But it's now second. He picked up a good chunk of that, but it's going to bring up second and 13 still. Dunmore has gone ahead of Susquehanna with 4 minutes to go in the half, 7-0. So we'll see how Coach Russick plays this one. 25 seconds. I would not imagine Coach Dolan would call a timeout because he only has one left, and they're guaranteed at least 2 plays before they can get into the half. So unless there's an incompletion here. Trips, they're going to run that counter again, and again Schmidt finds some room up inside. He's tripped up by Jake Keating, and Isley is there as well. But that 4-yard gain, and looks like Honesdale called the timeout with 12 seconds to go. So Coach Russick might have some other ideas here. The only problem with this, if you don't get this and Coach Dolan calls a timeout, you have to at least punt it away. And, you always risk something in danger when you try to set up special teams like this. So we'll see. We'll see what Coach Russick has up his sleeve here. It's going to be a 3rd and 10 now. Honesdale's done a nice job up front, able to move the ball on the ground, just not able to sustain a drive at this point. And defensively, they played really tough, getting turnovers early and then just stiffening when they needed to. Change in the play clock. They're saying there's 14 seconds left in the half as opposed to 12. So Coach Rowan, or Mr. Rowan, the official, relayed that to Coach Dolan, who tells my good friend Mr. Carter here exactly what the clock needs to read. And it'll be a 3rd and 10 now. And again, I'm sure Coach Dolan's ready with a timeout as soon as this play comes to a close to make Honesdale try and punt if they don't convert the first down. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Schmidt in the backfield with Collins. Collins looking to throw, steps up, a little bit of pressure, and the ball is fumbled. And looks like Isley picks it up. And with 6 seconds left to go now, the ball's going to be at the 45-yard line in North Pocono or Honesdale. So they're going to get at least a shot to the end zone. And Coach Dolan has that timeout in his pocket. You complete one down the middle of the field, perhaps you can even give Jordan Carr a bit of a chance here. So we'll see how this goes. That's part of the issue with taking the timeout there, not going into the locker room. Not a lot of good can come out of the ball at your own 40 with basically 1 play to go. But now this is the opposite effect where North Pocono is able to take over at the 45. So fumble there as Brendan Carney caused that, and it was scooped up by Isley. So we're going to see 2 receivers right, 2 left. Soma wants to take the quick throw, and he's got it to Smith. Little hook and ladder. The hook was completed. The ladder part wasn't, and Blaine just cannot get away, and that will take it to the end of the half there. So creative little trickeration from Coach Dolan, but that will bring the half to a close. Bit of a surprise here. 7-0 North Pocono at the half. So we're going to turn it over here. An excited group of youngsters from Honesdale, and they should be with the way they're playing. They're going to try and make some adjustments, I'm sure. I know Coach Dolan will do the same. And we will rejoin you guys as we're ready for second half play. And you will see the Honesdale marching band in the meanwhile. So I will join you again at the start of the second half. Again, your score, North Pocono 7, Honesdale 0. Okay, we're back here, Brian Jardine, at the North Pocono Football Stadium here at North Pocono Middle School in Moscow. 7-0 is your score as teams have just re-entered the field from the locker room. We're going to see the captains head out just to get the teams ready to go here in a second. Honesdale on the far sideline, stretching it out. North Pocono on the near side, doing much the same as we're ready to start action in probably less than a minute. North Pocono will be receiving the kickoff. Honesdale won the coin toss and decided to receive, so North Pocono will get it to start the second half, and they'll do so with a 7-0 lead. The only score, a pass from Will Soma to Danny Smith. It was a 26-yard touchdown pass. A Jordan Carr extra point made it 7-0. That's where we stand. So we've seen a feisty group from Honesdale, led by Connor Schmidt and Max Mickle so far on the offensive and defensive sides, that have held North Pocono sort of at bay despite the field possession advantage that North Pocono has enjoyed through most of the game. And that's where we're at right now. So we'll see what kind of adjustments were made at half by Coach Paul Russick and, of course, our own Coach Greg Dolan. And we're going to see Riley Moore and Michael Blaine drop back deep, as number 5, Max Mickle, who was the aforementioned defensive player that was a stalwart in that first half, is about to tee it up for the Hornets. Again, winner will advance to play the winner of Dallas and Pittston in the Class 4A semifinals next week. But right now we got 24 minutes to go, and Mickle puts it in the air. It's short, takes a bounce, and a little bit of a bobble before Blaine picks it up. He's got a little bit of room to the outside. He can't quite get to the edge as he is dragged down there by number 7, Johnny Kaufman. But good field position once again. Sound like a broken record with that. Just a matter now of North Pocono taking advantage. So it's going to be out at the 38-yard line again as North Pocono starts the second half. And Will Soma back out there ready to run the offense for the Trojans. So we're going to see trips to the right with the tight wing and LaFave to the right. Danny Smith, the lone receiver, shotgun with Blaine, and it's a sweep over to Blaine, and not much doing once again as Honesdale has that sniffed out. That's Max Mickle, folks, once again, along with number 4, C.J. Hinton over there to force that back inside. Maybe a yard for Blaine on that. Really impressed by the speed on this Honesdale defense as they can run sideline to sideline. Really displayed that tonight. So we're going to see twins now to the left, 2nd and 9. Tight end is LaFave to the right. Soma under center with 2 backs. Blaine at the eye, and that's Ashton Smith in motion. Play action. Soma winds up a long throw to the sideline, and good enough for a catch here by Danny Smith. Nice grab by Smith. It's going to be real close to a first down. We'll see where it's marked. And they're going to give him the first down on the play as the ball reaches the 48-yard line. So first down, North Pocono on the long sideline throw from Soma, really displaying his arm strength on that one. And it's going to bring up a first down now for the Trojans as we start this second half, first series. One receiver this way with the tight end receiver up top. And it's Soma again trying to go end around and really nowhere to go for Soma. He's just going to put his head down and see what he can get, and he's going to pick up 2 or 3. Broken play. Well read by the Hornets. Number 24, that is Cameron Hegdlin again in on a tackle. Hinton was there as well. So looked like they're trying to set up a reverse, and the Honesdale defender sort of ran with the reverse man, and wisely Soma didn't try to do too much, kept his composure, and just headed upfield to get as much as he could, and he was able to pick up 4. So it's a 2nd and 6. So avoided disaster there. Good play by the veteran quarterback. Twins here to the near side, 2 backs again, and Honesdale bringing some pressure, and Soma has man coverage, and he's got LaFave open, and I'm not sure what they're going to call here. Are they calling it a completion? It's Southerton with the ball. And they're saying, the first saying it's a catch. All right, so we have a first down catch by Ty Lefebvre as they go up top. Lefebvre had the corner beat by a couple of steps. They brought pressure, man coverage, and a good throw by Soma. Good job by Lefebvre holding on long enough, I guess, to count that as a catch. And now it's again going to be a first down in position here, and we might have motion there because no one was set as Soma ran the play. Now that call will go against Danny Smith because he was the man who was not set, but really that should be on William Soma. Has to take a look around, make sure his players are in the right spots before you call for the snap on that one. So it's going to set North Pocono back and make it a 1st and 15 now as the ball goes to about the 21-yard line. And Coach Stone will send Soma back out with the play. Michael Blaine about to step off. He'll stay in, and Isley will come out. So 1st and 15, opening drive, 9:37 and counting. We see trips down here to the left with Lefebvre, and it's going to be the inside handoff to Blaine, who has some room, and he is met rudely. Couldn't tell what the number was there that made the tackle, but he's able to pick up a good chunk of that penalty yardage, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and 7. So he picked up 7 or 8 on the carry. Good run. He did a nice job finding the hole there and getting back up inside. Like I said, he was banged down by perhaps number 80 that time, Rocco Fluck, for the Hornets. Similar set here as we get trips again to the left. The one receiver is Danny Smith down on the right. Soma again from the gun with Blaine in the backfield. Another give to Blaine, and tries to power ahead, and he's able to do so for a little bit. That's Hinton, the first man to meet him. And he picks up another probably 3. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and long 4 as we have a man down, and that looks like Mickle, and Honesdale cannot afford to lose him for any amount of time. And he's going to step out for a second. Official Jay Rowan is going to make him leave for a minute, and he'll be tended to. Number 20 has entered. That is Kanye Dixon for Honesdale. So a 3rd down now. Not a timeout, so North Pocono has to hustle up to the ball here. If you're not ready to go, Coach POTUS will hit you with that 25-second clock. They're going to break the huddle with about 14 on the play clock, so it should not be a problem getting it off. You're going to see trips now with tight end and receiver Blaine out to the left, and they're going to fake it up inside. Good job by Soma making one man miss. He's going to throw to the corner, and incomplete. We had 2 receivers in the same area, one being Ty Lefebvre, the other Michael Blaine trying to work his way down the field, and sort of split both of those receivers with the throw, and it falls incomplete, which will bring in a field goal try here by Jordan Carr. It looks like he'll be kicking it from the 17, so it'll be a 27-yard attempt, and we'll see if Jordan can make good on this one. He's been pretty solid as a kicker throughout the year. Brinkman the snap, Danny Smith the hold. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is good. So with 8:01 to go here in the 3rd quarter, a 27-yard field goal from Jordan Carr has extended the lead to North Pocono 10, Honesdale nothing. So Carr adds to the lead, so a good opening drive to start the second quarter. Second half. And just take a quick look at some of the scores. Del Val now 21-7 over Scranton. Not a lot of fireworks tonight. Hazleton 3-0 at the half over Wilkes-Barre in 6A. Valley View 28-0 at the half, so they're still rolling, speaking of fireworks. Dallas 14-0 at half. Obviously, it's 10-0 right in front of us. And Crispin Field sees a score with 10 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, 24-3, as Berwick is leading there. Wyoming area has jumped on Carbondale 20-6 right now, and Mid-Valley in AAA has cut that lead in half, 14-7. Lakeland and Lake Lehman in AAA will play tomorrow. As mentioned, Prep gets the first round bye. So we're ready to go here with a 10-0 lead. Looking to throw the defense out there. And we see Southerton back there with Dixon for the Hornets. Carr has it teed up at the 40. Let's see if Jordan can continue to do what he does and put this one through the end zone as well. Both Honesdale receivers are at the 10. And this one, again, looks like it's going to bounce through the end zone. So, once again, starting at the 20-yard line for Honesdale. That's kind of a similar refrain that we've had through a good portion of the night. Get a quick hello out there to our good friend Dan Hogan listening at home, former North Pocono girls basketball coach. He played Honesdale in the district championship game a few years back. So here we go. Honesdale now is going to come out in that tight bunch that we saw earlier from them. That Schmidt again at the tailback spot and Collins under center. Give straight ahead to Schmidt, and he's going to slide at about the 21-22 before being covered up by Ambrosecchia. So that one closed rather quickly on him. And we'll give him 1, maybe 2. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and long now, maybe 2nd and 8 we'll call it. And Collins comes back to the huddle now with his good pal, Cage Southerton. And we'll see what Coach Russick comes up with on 2nd and 8. Same formation here. 3 receivers to the right in that tight bunch. Schmidt as the tailback, 1 receiver, and they're going to run that same play action they ran a few times, and it's knocked down by Zach Hoover. Good job by Hoover getting his hands in the air there. Well coached. Anytime you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up, and that's exactly what he does. And really did a nice job closing the passing lane by doing so. So it's coming a 2nd and 8 now, and we see Ashton Smith enter the game as Carney and Hoover come out, and it's more of a nickel or dime package that Coach Fahey subs in with his defense. A little wider set here, so we're going to see trips to this side. 3 receivers, Schmidt to the right of Collins, 1 receiver to the left, that's Southerton. Good snap. Collins looking, a long throw out here in the flat, and it's completed to Connor Schmidt, but it's going to be short of a first down. Noah West is there to make the stop, and it looks like Honesdale is going to have to punt it away again and put Tyler Winters back to work. Riley Moore is going to drop back deep for the Trojans. Again, looking for great field position. That's been the story tonight. As Will Soma enters. Looks like North Pocono's trying to bring some pressure on this kick. So we'll see. It's a little bit of a high snap. Winters gets it out of there, and the pressure works because that ball is going to go out of bounds near the 30. We'll see exactly where it's spotted, and it's going to be at about the 34-yard line. So Winters, a little bit of a high snap, wanted to get it out of there with the pressure coming, does so, but really not much. Probably about a 5-yard punt when all is said and done. So Honesdale's backs up against the wall here as North Pocono scores on its first drive, and now it's 6:29 to go. They're in good position once again. Looks like that's Soma leading the offense, and we have 2 receivers to the right. Not sure. Tyler Fave motioning for something as he lines up at the tight end. Going play action, going to try to go up top, and Soma's under a little bit of pressure again, and once again he escapes and takes a hard hit as he goes down after he picks up 8 or 9. Mickles, the man down there, once again bringing him to the turf. But they originally had him in the backfield, just couldn't quite wrap him up, and he makes something out of nothing there. And it's been a story of the night where Honesdale's been able to get pressure and doesn't really look like they're blitzing much. Soma does look like he's a little hobbled right here. You could see him sort of limping back into the huddle. But it's a 2nd and 1, and we'll see if Coach Dolan what he wants to do with this 2nd down, as he has 1 back, 3 receivers to the left with the tight end, and they're just going to run sneak up inside before Soma is dragged down by number 50, Jack Kelleher. But not before he has enough for a first down, and he takes it down inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line with 5:37 to go. The way Honesdale's offense has sputtered, you'd think another score here might really make it difficult for Honesdale. They've had instances where they've moved the ball a little bit, just not able to put anything together sustained, and thus the good field position for North Pocono time after time here. As we get a chorus rendition of that song. It's Isley now, and he finds a little bit of a hole, and he is brought down by Mickle once again at the 15-yard line. Good job by Corey Isley getting behind his blockers, saw a little daylight, made a quick cut, and he's able to pick up 8 yards there. And now inside the red zone at the 15-yard line as Soma brings the play back in. So 4:41 to go. Bit of a T-look in the backfield. They're going to run belly up inside to Isley. And, oh, he just about slips through before he is tripped up. That's Connor Schmidt who trips him up originally. But Isley picks up the first down, and we're going to see where they mark him. If they mark him right at the 10, so it's going to make it 1st and goal as Honesdale will switch up their look a little bit. They bring Kelleher, it looks like, back into the defensive front for Honesdale. And North Pocono answers with a 2 tight end look with Ashton Smith at the wing and 2 backs with Isley and Blaine. Honesdale brings everybody, and Blaine's trying to beat people to the corner, not able to do so. Southern did a good job there. There is a flag on the play, and we'll see what this is. Not sure who threw the flag. Sometimes that's an indication of what the call may be. Not sure where it came from. But Jay Rowan's going to give us the call now and is holding. So it's going to be 1st, and can't really see where that flag ended up. So it's a 10-yard spot foul. So it might be 1st and goal from somewhere around the 18 by the time the ball is spotted. We'll call it the 19. So holding. Not many penalties on North Pocono. I can't remember many others. The one was a big one on 4th and short where they jumped off sides, but I can't remember any others besides that one. But that one's a big one where it's going to cost you 10 yards as you're inside the 10-yard line. And we see Danny Smith now join the huddle, and he looks a little hobbled as well. So we have trips to the right now. Smith, the lone receiver, down here near us. And a give to Isley, and the ball's on the turf, and North Pocono looks like they picked it up around the 5-yard line. So a gratuitous bounce really helps there. That was big number 62, Brendan Carney, who picked up the ball. It came out at about the 13-yard line perhaps, and he picked it up around the 6, went ahead a yard. So what looked like a 1st and forever, even though it was a goal-to-goal situation, all of a sudden turns into a 2nd and goal from the 6. So North Pocono is going to go back with that power look. And Soma brings the play into the huddle. Looks like 2 tights, little 22 personnel with Brinkman and LaFave at the tight ends. The 2 backs, Isley and Blaine. They're going to run counter with Blaine. He's got a hold in the end zone, and he is in the end zone. So with 2:51 to go, the lead has been extended with a 6-yard touchdown run by Michael Blaine. Again, a big break on that drive where the ball was backed up on the holding call, and a fumble actually bounced forward about 10 yards where North Pocono pounced on it, and it put them in a pretty good situation. And now it has Jordan Carr up to make it 17-0. And again, with the sputtering Honesdale offense, might make it a long climb back, and that kick is up with the high snap and good. So again, with 2:51 to go, back-to-back touchdown drives by North Pocono, both starting in great field position, as has been the case all night, and it makes the score 17-0 now Trojans. And with 2:51 to go, time running out on the Hornets here in Moscow. In Peckville, it's now 35-0 Valley View and 21-0 Dallas as they just start the third quarter. So likely scenario now would be North Pocono traveling to Dallas next week. Dallas had one fewer win, a 7-2 record, but their opponent's winning percentage far outweighed what North Pocono's opponent's winning percentage was. Just a much more difficult schedule that Dallas managed. So that's why they would be the 2 seed ahead of North Pocono, despite both teams having 2 losses and North Pocono 1 more win. On the other game, Berwick 31-3 over Wallenpaupack. So it looks like the Bulldogs will be making a trip to Peckville, something that has happened quite often through the years. Quite a rivalry, despite teams in different conferences with Berwick and Valley View. But still 2 minutes, 51 seconds to go here in the third, and another quarter yet to be played. Never know what can happen. But if you're Coach Dolan, you have to like your chances here with the way the defense is played. Jordan Carr set to go. Let's see if he puts another one through the end zone. And really gets into this one. That one gets halfway through the end zone in the air. So once again, Honesdale will start at the 20-yard line. So that's been the case. Honesdale starting at the 20. Maybe a first down or two is the best they've been able to do. It's either been a turnover or a punt, and next thing you know, North Pocono is at midfield or better, and they're able to complete a number of these drives here in the second half with a field goal and a touchdown, and they had the one scoring drive in the first half. So a couple balls bouncing North Pocono's way. They get the call early on the first touchdown from Soman Smith, where he may have been over the line when he let the ball go, or at least when he may have crossed the line and come back, and then we get the bounce there on the fumble, but we'll take him. Little inside handoff to Mickle. We saw this once. Ty Lefebvre drags him down from behind. Well read by Lefebvre. We saw that play in the first drive of the game. Go for a first down with the same setup with Mickle. Give that look of toss to the right and the inside handoff to Mickle, and that time Mickle is dragged down by Lefebvre, who scraped down the line of scrimmage, saw the opening shot through and made the tackle. And that's going to bring up a 2nd and 11 as the clock continues to run here in the third quarter. Freshman Aiden Collins has the play. He has doubles to the right and left with Schmidt with him. Sutherland in motion. It's a give to Schmidt and maybe a yard. We'll give him 1 on that, but right now, the Honesdale offense becoming a bit predictable with the inability to throw the ball, and North Pocono just sort of pinning their ears back. So Zach Hoover makes that tackle. It's a 3rd and 10. Hoover cleaning up the mess there. Assist on that one, the Coach Carter. So now we have trips here to the right. One back, and the pistol is Collins. Gets the snap, looking. He's going to go to the left, and just out of the reach of his receiver, Cage Sutherland. And once again, we're going to see Tyler Winters have to punt this again, put this away, and again likely give North Pocono a pretty good field position here as Riley Moore drops back to return this punt. Hasn't returned one yet tonight, but he's been valuable in catching the ball in the air and not allowing any of that yardage to be tacked on with a good roll. So Moore standing at his own, at the Honesdale 45. It's Winters at the 5-yard line, and Moore's going to grab this one. He's going to try and return this one. He makes one man miss, makes another miss, has the sideline, and he is taken out of bounds there by number 20, Kanye Dixon. But again, North Pocono is going to start deep in Honesdale territory. So even after they come out from the half, a good return on the kickoff by Michael Blaine got it out near the 38, and it's just been field position from there. A couple of scores have followed, and now with a minute 23 to go in the third quarter, North Pocono is on the verge of blowing this thing open. We see pro set, offset I with Isley as the fullback, Blaine as the tailback. Honesdale steps up. They're bringing some pressure here, and we set up a screen to the backside to Blaine. He's got room, and Mickle is there to make a tackle. And and it looks like he's spotted about the 23-yard line. No, perhaps let's see. Yeah, they're going to call it the 23, and that's enough for a first down. So a little bit of pressure was brought on that play, and Coach Dolan had a play ready for him as we came back with a screen to the other side. Soma now bringing in the play with 1:09 and counting in the third quarter, a quarter that has been, I guess you'd say, dominated by North Pocono as far as time of possession goes. Field position, definitely. Quick throw out to Ashton Smith. Tries to make a move, and he does. Gets a burst, and he's going to score. So a 23-yard touchdown. Bad angle there by the defender. And Ashton Smith able to run away from the defender and score. So 23 yards from Soma to Ashton Smith this time. So he's worked to both Smiths for a touchdown tonight. And with 53 seconds to go in the half, Jordan Carr is on to try and make this 24-0 and put this to bed and start worrying about next week with a possible date at Dallas. And Jordan Carr's kick is up and good. And that looks like exactly what we have. So coming out of the half, North Pocono has its offense more or less in gear. Like we said, a lot of it aided by their defense, putting them in excellent scoring position. And now a 24-0 lead. The latest score by Ashton Smith. Just a quick little stop pattern there. Quick little juke, and he beats the corner to the outside and outruns him to the end zone. So 24-0, 53 seconds to go in the half. I think if you're Coach Dolan, this is the time you start worrying about making sure kids are not in harm's way. I had a good conversation with Brian Kroom earlier this week, who coaches at Scranton Prep, and one of the things he liked about the bye week, not only the fact that they're not playing and get healthy, but you avoid injury against a team that, again, you've already beaten, proved that you're better than, and then also, you know, you get frustrations at the end of a game, especially a team losing their season, and you get a little skirmish that ensues, and now all of a sudden you lose kids for the following week, and the other team's going home. It doesn't matter. So kind of in a tough spot when you're playing these games against teams that didn't even reach 500, but starting to impose their will a little bit right here in North Pocono, and it's 24-0 as we still have 53 seconds remaining in this quarter. Game effort by Honesdale so far. They've put up a fight, I think just wearing down a little bit right now. So Carr has it set at the 40. And it looks like he's ready to go. Again, Southerton and Kanye Dixon back deep, and they watch it sail over their head and into the end zone. And guess what, folks? We're going to be starting at the 20-yard line when Honesdale takes over here.
What's that average again?
Mr. Carter working on the average.
20.
So we're looking at quite an uphill climb for Aiden Collins, the young freshman, and the Honesdale offense here. So we're going to see Honesdale come out. Looks like they have that tight little formation to the left now as Southerton comes in motion to the right near us. And they're going to go wide with Connor Schmidt, and he gets the corner this time. And he's going to race up the sideline before Ty LaFave shoves him out of bounds. And Ty LaFave, being the nice kid he is, goes over and picks him up afterwards. So he stepped out maybe at the 29-yard line, so a 9-yard run. Connor Schmidt's having a nice night for himself. And it looks like Riley Moore now a little bit banged up. We already mentioned Danny Smith. Looks like he's a bit banged up. And Gavin Jones comes into the lineup, as does Will Soma playing defense right now. Looks like a miscommunication there, but Connor Schmidt made a man miss, and he's able, that was Alex Brinkman in the backfield. And Schmidt's able to get a first down, and that should take us near the end of the third quarter if Coach Russick wants it. Keating now exits the game as Brendan Carney comes back in after a quick little break. And with 28 seconds in running, Collins comes out of the huddle with the Hornets. It's number 6, Isaac Carmody, down here to the right. Sutherland up top. Phillips and Schmidt in the backfield. Collins now under center. And a little bit of play action, some pressure. And there's Alex Brinkman again chasing him down. He's just going to dump it off as he had Carmody over here on the near side and just could not connect. William Soma in coverage. So that's going to be a 2nd and 10, and barring something crazy, probably the last play of the third quarter here with the score 24-0. So 2nd and 10. Trips down here with the wing on the right. One receiver to the left is Sutherland. Collins in the pistol with Schmidt. He gives straight ahead to Schmidt, makes a quick move with Ashton Smith up at the line of scrimmage looking to make a tackle. And he's going to pick up 1, and that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. So with 12 minutes left to play, that's all that separates North Pocono from a semifinal date with the Dallas Mountaineers Pittston Area Patriots winner, a game that Dallas leads midway through the third quarter, 28-0. So Dallas looks like they're going to be well on their way to a home field advantage in the semifinals, barring a miracle down there with Jack Walker's Pittston Patriots. So we'll have to hold on here with a 24-0 lead. Like I said, probably more importantly if you're Coach Dolan right now, making sure you get out of here healthy. And if you're Honesdale, you're trying to build momentum here. Looks like they have a young team. Collins, as mentioned, is a freshman. Schmidt, of course, has done a nice job at tailback tonight. He's a senior, so he will not be back. But a number of those kids in that secondary that have really impressed tonight. Max Mickle, I know he's a baseball player as well, seeing him on the diamond a few times last couple of years, actually, as we played. Cage Sutherland. So they have a couple of kids, Carmody, all kids who will be returning to that lineup next year. So you want to build momentum if you're Honesdale and see if you can get back in the game here. And it's going to start here with a 3rd and 9 from, looks like the ball will be spotted right in the 35-yard line here. So it's Collins again in the backfield with Schmidt. 3 receivers to the right, one of those being a wing, 1 man open to the left. And a little dump out to Schmidt, and he has a first down, and it makes a move, and he has a man on his back. That's Gavin Jones, who eventually drags him down, but not before he's able to pick up a nice chunk play, and that'll work into North Pocono territory and put the ball maybe at about the 46, 47-yard line, we'll call it. And it'll be a 1st and 10 there, as Honesdale breaks the huddle, again with Aiden Collins directing traffic. Trips to the left now. Schmidt as the lone back, and a quick little draw play to Schmidt, and he makes 1-man move and another move. He's eventually dragged down by Michael Blaine, but Schmidt again impressive with his shiftiness and straight ahead running style. And that 18-yard pickup's going to put the ball inside the 30. So let's hold on right now before we start talking about next week and make sure we can get out of this week. Right now, Connor Schmidt's saying not so fast. 2 to the right. Motion now making it trips right. And they come back with that counter play again, and Schmidt bounces back inside. And he carries Michael Blaine with him, but that's going to be 10 more. And Blaine now a little slow to get up. Looks like he's okay. Schmidt seems to be getting stronger with each carry as Honesdale subs in Sutherland. And number 2 at the top of the screen, that's Cole Fries. Little motion now with number 1, Tyler Winters, and they're going to throw a little slip screen to Sutherland, and he's going to make 1-man miss, and he's going to get to the corner and be dragged out of bounds by Dan Smith, and it looks like Dan Smith is hobbled again. Don't want to speculate, but it might be a calf cramp with Danny, just the way he's moving and walking a little gingerly there. But more importantly, I punched the ball inside the 5-yard line now with 10:40 to go, and Honesdale breaking the huddle. Nice drive here. It would be an 80-yard drive because we know they only start at the 20 thanks to Jordan Carr. Inside handoff again to Schmidt, and he stays on his feet before Brendan Carney's able to wrap him up. along with a number of other Trojans there at the bottom of that pile. Looks like Alex Brinkman getting up off the bottom of the pile as well. And Honesdale's going to use a little bit of tempo here down around the goal line, and they're going to stay with that same look with two receivers here to the left on the near side, a wing with Tyler Winters to the right and a receiver out wide right. And we have two guys in motion, it looks like. That's not legal. And before that, they called the timeout. So maybe in Canada you can pull that one off. Coach Russick saw that and said, "No, we're not gonna try this one." So they call a timeout with a 2nd and goal from the 4. And that's where we'll pick up after timeout. That is the first used by Honesdale this half, as they're knocking on the door to score here. North Pocono's defense has been stout, to say the least, throughout the year, only giving up 8 points per game coming into this one, and only 32 points total since the 21 points Honesdale scored in week 3. So really made it difficult. Number of shutouts along the way. 2 scores last week by Delaware Valley in the finale of the regular season, in which Del Val clinched the Lackawanna League Division I title. But again, I told you at the start of the show, anything that really happened last week, you sort of throw out with the way that weather played such a role. But nonetheless, you take those 12 points away. It's really only 20 points in a 7-week span. So really impressive defensive performance, and they'd like to see it again here. Looks like man coverage as North Pocono takes the defensive side of things, and here comes a quick little screen out the Southern again. Good job by LaFave coming out from behind. It looks like the ball's on the ground. I'm not sure if they're saying fumble or if he was down. Really nothing from the officials here. I wish I could tell you more. Now they're saying it's a turnover. So I apologize for the delay, but nobody did anything. And the ball was picked up by North Pocono, it looks like. No one from Honesdale really went after the ball. I guess they assumed that he was down, and North Pocono happened to pick it up, and they will turn Honesdale away. So you're looking at basically a 77-yard drive and all for naught. And with 9:50 to go, that may have been the last gasp as far as winning the game for Honesdale. So right now it's a matter of running clock as we go here. And North Pocono breaks the huddle with their 22 personnel with Brinkman and LaFave at tight end and 2 backs. Under center is Soma. And we have movement. It looks like Brinkman may have jumped there for North Pocono. And not the worst penalty in the world. You're trying to pick up a free 5 yards if you're Coach Dolan. So, you're trading 5 yards with half the distance penalty. You just lost maybe 1. So really not a bad trade-off when you try to go on 2 there. Something Coach Dolan has done quite a bit, and good coaching move on his part when he does so. But it puts them back 1 more yard now. Same look as Ashton Smith is the lone receiver, and they're just going to go straight ahead with a sneak. And I don't think he got much of anything at all. That looks like Rocco Fluck, one of the first people in there, and actually lost a yard. So it's now going to be a 2nd and 11. I'm sorry, 2nd and, we'll call it 12. 2nd and 13. We'll go with Coach Carter's official statistic here. So the ball plays just on the 2-yard line as Soma heads back into the huddle with the play clock running, which is inside of 14 here. So they hurry up to the ball, and see if they try to draw someone again. He's trying, it looks like, and I don't know if Coach Dolan is going to burn the timeout or just take the penalty. And it looks like Coach Dolan is taking the timeout. That'll be North Pocono's first of the half, as they're in a bit of a hole here for the first time all night. They're not out near midfield to start a possession. And Coach Dolan trying to figure out where to go from there. Just quickly to keep you updated, because it's survive and advance time. Del Val has opened that lead on Scranton 28-7, and Hazleton has opened their lead on Wilkes-Barre 17-0. So that looks like 2 teams headed for a rematch with Hazleton and Delaware Valley. This one would be at Del Val. Valley View all over Crestwood 38-0. So it looks like the road to a state playoff berth is going to go through Peckville. Dallas, as mentioned, at the end of the third quarter, up 28-0. Berwick, 31-3. So that looks like all but set for next week's matchup between Valley View and Berwick. Wyoming area has extended that lead in 3A over Carbondale, 27-6. And Mid-Valley has taken the lead back from Western Wayne, 28-21. So a competitive game there. So third down here. We'll see what Coach Dolan decides to do. Tight formation. He's got two backs, and he's just going to go straight ahead to Isley, and Isley brings it out near the 9-yard line. So that pickup at least puts you in position to do some things here with a 3rd and 5. So a good run, a quick little hitter off the ball. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 4, we'll call it, with 8:38 to go now, as, again, North Pocono looking just to ice this thing and run some clock. Just to finish up the scoreboard, a little trail, 28-19, a little closer game than imagined there with Riverside, and Dunmore no problem at Susquehanna, 29-7. So a quick little hitter out to Ashton Smith, and again, he gets going, and that's going to be enough for a first down. So Ashton Smith showing a little bit of a burst this week. We saw it on a touchdown pass earlier, and now on that third down, quick little hitter, and he made the first man miss and was able to get upfield. And with 8:14 to go, they probably will not see the ball in the air much more, as they're cleared it out of that 2-yard line. Brady Mapes, backup kicker, starting to get loose a little bit. Inside handoff now to Isley. Really nothing there as they tried to run trap up inside. And that was number 4, C.J. Hinton once again. And Max Mickle, who's had his nose around the football all night, making the stop. So it's going to be about a 2nd and 7. And with the play clock at about 25, we're going to see that. I'm sure Will Soma will wait till that winds all the way down near 4 or 5 seconds before he decides to run the play here. So we should be inside of 7 minutes before he runs the next play. Bit of a wider formation now with 2 receivers to the left, and it's going to be a handoff to Blaine, who has a little bit of room, and guess what? There's Max Mickle, and that room has stopped quickly. And Mickle, I don't have official stats, but he's got to be well over 12, 13 tackles. Johnny Kaufman was there to help Mickle bring Blaine down to the turf, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down now with 6:51. My good friend A.J. Nimitz, normally the stat guy on the broadcast, is AWOL tonight. I'm not sure where he is, but actually, yeah, you're right. Coach Carter just hit it on the head. I think he's in Hershey with the cross-country team, so good for him. Who'd want to be up here in the cold? All right, Soma looks like he's going to go up top, and he's got a man, and it's Ashton Smith, and he brings it in. And he is dragged down there by Sutherland. So forget what I said earlier about ball probably not going in the air anymore. We're still throwing it a little bit. And Ashton Smith continues to have a career night as he is on the receiving end of that 57-yard touchdown. A nice over-the-shoulder catch. Sutherland eventually brings him down. And the ball is now inside Honesdale territory at the 18-yard line with 6:22 to go. Kanye Dixon checks back in for the Hornets as North Pocono breaks the huddle here. So Smith wide left. We have a wing, which is Ashton Smith, who's now in motion here to the right. And it's going to be play action again, putting the ball in the air. And he just lobs it up incomplete. And I get you want to work on things, but at the same time, if you're Coach Dolan, you don't want to put Will Soma in harm's way here with any sort of late hit or any hit he doesn't have to take at this point, knowing you're pretty much moving forward. So we'll see how he decides to play it from here. So Soma back in the huddle, 6 minutes even on the clock. And looks like we have an unbalanced line to the left with 2 receivers to the left. And they run that way with Blaine. He slips through the hole, but that's C.J. Hinton there to meet him. So maybe 2 yards for Blaine. couple of nice runs from Michael tonight. Really hasn't hit that big run that we're used to seeing. Same could be said for Corey Isley. A lot of that the credit goes to the Honesdale defense, who's put up a great fight tonight. A little bit on the outside on the perimeter, North Pocono is able to make plays, and that's been the difference right now, along with the field position that we have benefited from all night. So with 5:20 to go, we now see a bit of a tight bunch here to the right and a toss to Blaine. He's going to not quite get to the corner, and that's Max Mickle again. And the ball's going to be spotted about the 15. It's going to bring up a 4th down now, and we'll see what decision Coach Dolan makes here. I don't think we're going to see Jordan Carr. We did see Brady Mapes warming up earlier, but you're not going to see him either. So it looks like we're going to leave the offense out on the field here with the ball marked at the 15-yard line. And now someone takes Coach Dolan's call into the huddle with the play clock at about 10. I'd imagine he's going to let this run down, call a timeout, and it's now Jordan Carr loosening. So it likely in Carr's distance, so you're looking at a roughly ball snap about a 37-yarder. So that second timeout is now used by Coach Dolan, and it looks as if the field goal unit's coming out. I see Alex Sprinkman in there, the long snapper, so we'll see if it's Jordan Carr, and it is Jordan. We'll see what he can do here, if it's a 37-yarder that he can put through the uprights. And again, I think it's safe to say this one, as far as winning and losing, has been decided already. But it's now just a matter of AJ is in Hershey with the cross-country team. Just got a confirmation on that. Again, congratulations to those kids. You think the kid would stick around for a cold night to help good old Mr. Jardine with some stats and then go down, but that's all right. That's all right. We'll let him slide on that one. His parents are both O'Hara grads, so we'll let him slide. All right, so here we go. We're going to see a 32-yard attempt. I said 37 earlier, my fault. 32-yard attempt with 4:28 to go. Already one field goal tonight. Good snap. Kick is up, and the kick is good once again. So Jordan Carr starts his big weekend with another field goal. That one a 32-yarder for Jordan Carr, and it's now a 27-0 lead for the Trojans with 4:23 to play. So Jordan Carr, of course, we mentioned, will be here tomorrow for a district championship in soccer. The first for the school, first championship game in soccer for the school since 2005. So that'll be a big event for those young men. I think it's a 3 o'clock start. Is it here, Bob? Here? And the game will be here. It'll be played on this very same turf, so hopefully community members can come out and see that. All right, so Carr's got it ready. And we're going to walk you home for the last 4:23 here. So Dixon and Sutherland are back. Really haven't been able to do much on these kickoffs other than watch it go over their heads, and that looks like it's going to be more of the same. And they better hope. Yeah, there it goes. So once again, ball goes out of the end zone, and Honesdale will take over at the 20. And we'll see what Coach Russick decides to do as he brings the offense out. Also see what Coach Dolan decides to do with his lineup. Again, one of the big things now, 4:23 in this game, well in hand. You want to make sure you walk into Dallas next week healthy as possible. So we'll see if he makes any substitutions. Doesn't look like he has as of yet, but might not be wholesale, but here and there I think you'll see kids.
Yeah.
Little technical difficulty there, sorry. All right, we're back. And it's still Aiden Collins with, looks like Schmidt still in the backfield with him, okay? 3 receivers to his right. And he's going to try and throw it. And a little out to Connor Schmidt, and behind him, Schmidt not able to bring that one in, so that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 now. And we'll see what we got. So Russick sends the play in with the young freshman. As that play clock's running under 10 as they approach the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Schmidt in the backfield with pistol look for Collins as he's going to roll to the right again. Hoover giving chase, and he just tosses it up, and a couple bodies collide and go down there out of bounds. That looked like Noah West, and Ashton Smith over there in coverage. Carmody happened to be the receiver number 6 for Honesdale. And they bring up a 3rd and 10 now. So basically only 11 seconds have run off the clock here. And if you're Honesdale, you're facing a big 3rd down. So trips again to the right. 1 receiver down here to the left is Southern. Collins looking to set up a screen, and he's got Schmidt, and Hoover had a chance at him, missed him. The referee does a nice job of slowing him up, however. That looks like our good friend Murph in the middle of the field. Nope, I'm sorry, I have the wrong guy. I thought Murph is out there, but that was not him. Murph would have tackled him. He doesn't miss those tackles. So it's going to bring up a 4th and 3 now, and it looks like Honesdale is going to leave the offense out there as we're under 4 minutes to play. So Collins sends trips now to the right again with that tight wing. Southern the only receiver here to the left with Connor Schmidt as the lone back. Schmidt's been the shining star in offense, and he continues to do so. He's a 1st down, and he makes another man miss, and now he breaks out near the 40. Before he is brought down by Mikey Blaine. But a 1st down for Connor Schmidt as he adds to his totals tonight. Between Max Mickle and Connor Schmidt, both have put up impressive numbers in this game tonight with tackles on defense and Schmidt with some yardage on offense. So we now have the same look. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Schmidt in the backfield. In the pistol is Collins. High snap, he corrals it, and he steps up into the pocket. He looks like he's going to try and run. Now he turns around, and he doesn't realize Alex Brinkman's there, and now he just lets it go. And I don't know, I don't see any call for intentional grounding. Collins a little slow to get up. And there's your flag now. So it's going to be grounding. Really nobody in the area. I'm not even sure the ball got beyond the line of scrimmage. He was outside the tackle box, but that's not part of grounding when it comes to the high school game. So that's going to move the ball back to roughly the 24-yard line there. So we'll give Brinkman the old Mrs. Martin math class sack of the week for that effort there. It's one thing to Alex. Alex got a motor. He's going to come after the quarterback, and he's not going to quit. And that's exactly what happened there as Collins turned around. Mr. Brinkman said hello. So trips right now, 1 receiver left, 1 back is Schmidt, and they're going to give to Schmidt again. Again, he's been the offense tonight, and he's been wrapped up right there. That's Jake Keating over there, it looks like, with perhaps that's Zach Hoover.
He's really cleaning up tonight.
That's 57. That might be Zach Atala, actually. Wrong Zach. So we're going to have a 3rd and forever with 2:22 to go. And Collins again with the same formation, trips to the right, 1 receiver left, Schmidt in the backfield. They're going to go draw. There goes Brinkman, missed him. And Schmidt's able to get a couple extra again. There's Keating again. And he's going to pick up, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6. Which is not nearly enough, and Honesdale is going to spin their final timeout with 2:04 to go I'm sorry, they have 2 timeouts. They still have 1 left. My fault. So 2 timeouts used with 2:04 to go, and we'll see how Coach Russick decides to play this one. Again, pretty much academic at this point. We'll take one more look at the scoreboard to try and figure out what it might look like next week. I'm efforting here, folks. Del Val now 31-7 over Scranton, so that looks like a clash with Hazleton about to happen. East Stroudsburg South all over Valley West. Again, that's a sub-regional in the 5A classification. Only 2 teams, Abington and Valley West, are in 5A, so they are a sub-regional at District 11. Valley View 38-7, Dallas now 35-6, and Berwick remains 31-3. So it looks like we're set to go with Dallas next week, barring anything miraculous here in the final 2:04. And a high snap on 4th down, and Collins staying in the pocket. He's just going to let this go. It's high, and Sutherland's looking for it, and Danny Smith goes up and may have gotten a little piece of that and distracted Sutherland a little bit, and it's going to fall to the turf incomplete, and that's pretty much going to do it. So North Pocono is going to run their offensive line out there, which will include Andrew Martin now, number 65, and Zach Atala stays out there, along with Damian Oltman. Zach Gallant, who's done a nice job stepping in to tackle for the last couple weeks. And we have Blaine Isley at the running back spots, and Soma, of course, running the offense at quarterback with 1:57 to go. 2 receiver look here with Brinkman and LaFave. Again, Ashton Smith is the receiver, and they're in the victory formation. And Soma will take the snap and take a knee with that snap. And with a minute 48 and running, that ball is just now blown into play. So the 2nd and 12, the snap will probably come with about a minute and 3 seconds to play in the game. So now it's just a matter of math equations for Coach Dolan, trying to get this under the allotted amount of time. And congratulations to the Trojans. They were not in the playoffs last year. They shortened the district playoffs to only 2 teams. Something I would not, as a coach, I would rather take fewer teams. And they take that snap with 1:05, so this will probably be one more snap, and that'll do it. 2018, North Pocono was a 5 seed, and 5 seed, and went up to Crestwood, and unsuccessful there. Previous year, they lost at Berwick. Last district title goes back to the 2016 team. They beat Berwick here in that game without completing a pass. They went on to lose to Imhotep Charter in the first round of the state playoffs shortly after. And, folks, that's going to do it. So play clock starts, and there's 20 seconds to go. So that's going to be it. Game effort by Honesdale. They should be proud of the way they conducted themselves tonight. Really impressive, especially Connor Schmidt, Max Michael. Fantastic job. Good job, however, by the Trojans as they move on. So, quick recap. First quarter, 35 seconds remaining. We saw Will Soma to Danny Smith, to give a 26-yard touchdown pass and an early 6-0 lead. Jordan Carr made it 7-0 with the first of 3 extra points. Carr also added a field goal in the third quarter where North Pocono really separated itself. 8:01 to go, and the 27-yarder made it 10-0. A 6-yard run shortly thereafter with 2:51 to go by Michael Blaine made it 17-0 with the Carr extra point. Within 2 minutes, they struck again. This time, a quick little pass to from William Soma to Ashton Smith. Smith made one move, one-man miss, and took it to the end zone for a 23-yard touchdown pass and a 24-0 lead. And then finally, Jordan Carr iced it with a 32-yard field goal at 4:23 to go. And that is the final. So That's it, folks. 27-0 is the score from North Pocono. Likely the last game that will be played here this year. We're going to travel to Dallas next week. Barring a Berwick upset of Valley View, we'll probably have to be on the road were we to win next week. So congratulations to the Cougars. Good job by everybody involved. This year's been a lot of fun. And I hope to be back next year with everybody with more live football action that we stream here on the old North Pocono Grant Pollock Network. And roll Tide. See everyone later.